skip all the way to Sentai. So if you didn't know, this is Reina. And hold on, how the fuck do I green backdash? It's like I'm just doing it wrong, aren't I? Whatever. This is Reina, right? Let me see something. So this is Reina, right? And Reina has a stance called Sentai, which is really, really fucking annoying if you don't know how to beat it. And then if you know how to beat it, then it's like, it's just okay. Yeah. So, for example, on every other Mishima, because Reina is a Mishima, what ends up happening when you hit 1-1-2, right, you get a wall splat. So if there was any other character, Yoshi would be wall splatted into free combo, right? But because it's Reina, and they gave her Sentai, they gave her Sentai out of 1-1-2, but not as a command, it just happens automatically. So if you make them block, right, it's still launch punishable. So it's still just regular flash punch, which is just like a 10 hit like a 10 hit confirmable guaranteed wall splat. Right? That's still objectively good. I think I can put on like random block, right? So I can go. Oh, it didn't register my second hit. Like, if you're dialed in, not even if you're dialed in, I think it's just very hit confirmable. I'm just really bad at it. Is it? Yo, bro, I put it on random block. That motherfucker just kept blocking, whatever. The point is, it's very hit confirmable. I'm just doing poorly, right? You have like that long to do it, right? You can wait. You can go, all right, did he press? Bet. And then just move on. So if you hit it, if the person gets hit when you do Sentai, right? So not only do you get your punish for whatever you were doing, you get the transition to stance automatically, and you go into it plus 11. So a lot of times what happens is, alright, they'll be fishing for this, and it's very confirmable, mind you, and it's also 10 frames, so you can use it to punish. So a Reina will, I can't say a Reina because I haven't faced many Reinas recently. Someone could go just do a frame trap. I think like this move is probably plus on block. Yeah, +2. Do +2 in the frame trap, which then goes you into stance at plus 11, right? So then you have to like navigate around that. So as you can tell, offensively, forward 3 is her main offensive pressure. If you fight any Reina, it's like attack, stance, plus frames, attack, stance. That's most low level Reinas. That's most mid level Reinas. So, for example, what we're gonna do is we're gonna train Yoshi to punish after he blocks, and his response is going to be a jab. Fastest option he has. Right. See? So I'm going to do and we're doing this at the plus frames because hold on, I guess we could in theory do it without the plus frames. Now that I think about it, yeah. I just have to think of a move that transitions. Hold on. Just gotta find a move that transitions. Uh, 442? Yeah. We use 442. Alright. So, wait, is 442 plus? Plus 2. Oh, brother. Fuck it. We can do the math. Because forward 2 is such a normal situation to happen that you might as well do it from there. Alright? And then if you want to know if you could launch punish on reaction, yes, sure. You can just look at the fucking numbers. I had it right the first time. There's no need to second guess myself. Alright, so the first option we have is Sentai 1-2, which looks like this. Alright, it's a power crush, Sentai 1, 16 frames, right? So without any like frame advantage, let's say they're doing this on block without any frame advantage, you can launch punish this move just immediately. But it's a power crush actually, so I don't think you can. It's a power crush. You can't launch this move except I guess it'd be easier if I just played fucking Reina, bro. It's like I put Reina on the other side. Fuck it, I'll just do that. And we'll just swap back to Yoshi after we're done with that to do like the flash checks.
Get ready for the next battle.
Alright. So what we're gonna do is we're simply going to train the bot to do this stuff, right? So the option was Sentai 1-2, right? Have it block. Right. Alright. So with Sentai 1-2, it's power crush. But if you do the full thing, then it's punishable. And I think to this, you can size up after punch. Nope, he's plus 14. No, I'm plus 14. I don't have rage. But it's letting me press, so I'm guessing I can rage. Yeah. So you can grab, which I think you can do on reaction actually. You can see the arm stretch out and go for a grab. You can size that. Right. All right. So the way you deal with this move is being patient. Right. The weakness of this move is that you can step it to her left. Right. Yeah. You can step it left. But another weakness of the move is that yeah, like a single side step beats it. Right. A single side step just beats it. So like that's a massive weakness where you have to reconcile the fact that one is most punishable if they do it. So if you just block it, you get a free combo. They die. If they do it and you're sharp, you can sidestep it. They die. If you react to the punch, you can react in time to grab and like just break their stance. And then I don't think you can power crusher. Maybe you can. What's a power crusher? Back 1+2. That was a guess, by the way. W guess. Yeah, you can wait for whatever attack they do. Power crush. Right. Interrupt your offense. All right. All right. You get the picture. The next move. This is during Sentai. It says you can power it up by doing Sentai instead of. So Sentai 1. Right. Was I doing it wrong? Hold on. What? Because I feel like. Is it a power crush when it first comes out? Does she have two power crushes? No, so I'm doing the right move. I don't understand why it comes out as a power crush in the beginning for me, but not the bot. See what I mean? Like maybe it's because like I'm raw transitioning. So if I do, I don't know. We'll try to do this power up version. Then I'll move on. Ooh, there's a perfect input. Hold on, we gotta make a block so I can see. So I want to check and see if it makes it safe. Nope. I don't know. Uh, next move, Sentai 2. -4. 13 frame move. Mid. You can hold down to go into Heaven's Wrath. There's no plus frames if you transition on block. But what about hits? How much plus frames do you get on hits? +8? Okay. Fuck it. Let's just go to Heaven's Wrath. Let's not even... Wait, let's just go to Heaven's Wrath. So... Oh, we're really, like, inceptioning ourselves. During Heaven's Wrath, which is down 1+2, you can do 1, 4, which is a homing move. That move, alright. And it says you can shift to Sentai if you do 1 forward. So you can do Sentai down, Sentai 2 down into Heaven's Wrath 1 forward. So it looked like, yeah. Yeah. There's some Reina who's absolutely mixing people. And then you can shift to a sidestep if you do Heaven's Wrath 1. Or not sidestep, like, what is that called? Soku? In Soku? It's this stance. So you can pretty, like, free flow. You can do... Alright, cool. There's Heaven's Wrath 2. 15 frames. Heaven's Wrath 3. 28 frames. Heaven's Wrath 4. 17 frames. Heaven's Wrath 1+2, 15, which is Power Crush. The reason I'm not actually looking at the moves just yet is because I want to cover the other stance fully. But like at +8, if you hit that move into a transition into this stance, there's so many options you can't like interrupt with, and I think that's just the point where if you get hit and someone goes in a stance, you just have to take it. You just have to block. Take a guess. So far, I haven't seen any lows from Heaven's Wrath. That's the only one, and that's a launch on block. Is there another low? There has to be. That shifts to Sentai. That goes into God Step. And that's it. There's actually no lows. Hold on. At least 16 frame low, so you're not gonna be able to interrupt it. Maybe actually I think you could power crush that move. No, it's a low. It's a low. So you're gonna get hit and it's gonna counter you. Something tells me it's a counter hit launch. Yeah. Oh, you can hold down and infinitely lose it. Which is +8 into the stance, so you have to take another mix after. Alright, we're gonna get into it when we get there. But like for now, just remember that. All right, so all like +8 into the stance is like incredibly good, incredibly good. It's just objectively good for that stance. All the options are fast. The only thing is, right, that stance has no mids. I mean, it has no lows. Like no lows that can make you care. And the only low has a follow up that's launch punishable on block, and it's a mid. It's a mid follow up, and it isn't a natural hit combo. So like, you kind of can just ignore that stance. Maybe I don't know. You need to look at like both those stances because they're forward advancing attacking stances that she can flow to her other stances with. So it's a situation where if you don't know where Reina starts and ends, you kind of just let her press, and eventually she just like guesses right. Um, this move is like what Sentai 2, 13 frames, incredibly fast, has good range because Sentai is forward advancing, and then the move itself is forward advancing. Right, you're threatening to attack her from here. And what I'm guessing is, as far as balancing, having a 13 frame move from stance, they probably made it that it's a counter hit launcher. No, they didn't. You're just +8. But then you can do +8 into stance, but they don't give you even more frames. You're still just at +8. So, counter hitting doesn't actually do anything on this character. Because I know there's quite a few characters who have things like counter hit launchers that are 13 frames. Like they have like fast buttons that if you get hit by it, you just die. Making like pressing or like getting someone off of you feel like a pain. There's Sentai 3. Right, this move here in particular, it's very specific in the sense that you'll see lower Reina start out because it's a heat engager, right? So that means they have access to an easy heat burst from stance to like make you guess twice. But another thing is, right, it's a high and it's +1 on block, but it's 12 frames, so it's incredibly fast. Like this is like if Sentai 2 is a fast choice, Sentai 3 is incredibly fast at 12 frames. Like it just beats everything. You can't press into it. You're just gonna get caught. So what's gonna happen eventually is you're gonna run to a Reina that does something like what am I recording in? That over and over again. Don't let her do that. I know it's a homing move, right? Even at +2, all the options are slow enough you can just jab her out of her offense. So far, because what have our options been? It's been like Sentai, Sentai 1, 16 frames, you can jab that. Sentai 2, you can jab that. Sentai 3, you can jab that. 16, 13, 12, right? Those are the numbers. Those are all jab punishable. So if you're someone like Yoshi, you can do 2-2 into Kencho mix up off of her stance pressure. It's one of those things where it's like it's only oppressive if she hits you, even if she does this, right? The only reason this is scary is because she gives herself +2 on block. Alright, that's like literally the only reason that could be considered scary. Because now like her 12 frame 442 into her 12 frame fucking 3 Sentai 3 is like more reinforced, and now she's +1, but she's never so insanely plus that like you can't do anything, right? Like I feel like this is incredibly balanced. And then on top of that, a very important note is like these moves are fast, and if she does get plus frames into it, you're gonna have a hard time. But any other time, she's kind of just like throwing her life, right? Like no plus frames instance, it's a fast option, of course. So like I think the stance move itself, like this is slow enough for you to react and jab her if you're caught up, right? If you're not behind, right? If you're not, oh shit, she's pressing, then you can jab on reaction and win, right? If she's doing stuff like 4-4-2 into stance, you can still jab and react because you can visually recognize that she's doing the 4-4-2 into the stance. Like you should have that in your head of, hey, she's gonna go into stance, jab, or like look for stance, jab, and if she doesn't, don't do anything. You can just visually, oh, she's not in stance, what is she going to now? And that's hard to like recover from one play to the next to the next. I can say that, like at least like for me right now, I can understand how that's hard. I still think even at like, because like what 12 frame moves does she have? I know she has to have something, right? Her jab, right, and then here's a 10 frame jab. The point is, at +2, she has a like two 10 frame jabs basically, a 10 frame jab, 8 frame jab, blah blah blah. You know how the math works. The issue is, on paper you can't jab that, but like Reinas are so used to people blocking, they're more than likely going to go into stance, and if they stop going into stance, so like they can get the 1-1-2, and then they're like +8, or I mean +11 going into stance, which is way better. Like it's actual mix then, right? Like you have to have to guess, but the very second Reina guesses wrong, right? Her turn is very stealable, and her turn's over. Like those are the two options, at least from what it seems. I've never lost to a Reina and went, yeah, the game gave it to her. It was always like I didn't play well enough. Sentai 4. 13 frames, -8 on block. Something tells me it's a knockdown mid. Yep. Okay, 26 frames, slow. But it's +4 on block. That's why they do it. They do this to get plus frames, right? And I don't think there's any like transition either. So they just do it for plus frames into standing, right? So they can cycle through. What I want to know is in what direction does one step this? Both. You can't grab. You can down forward one. Alright. You can float it with a heat burst. You can float it with a jab. Right. You can heat burst it. And how fast is Reina's heat burst? .21, which means you can rage art it. So even if I think even if you get hit with it and you're -13, yeah. If you get hit, right, you can sidestep to her, right? If you're not hit and it's just on block, it's your world. You can do whatever you want. This is what I mean, but like, Reina's one of those very fair characters because you can't, like, even on hits, even on block, You don't have to you all you have to do is know, hey, if I sidestep here, you win the interaction against Reina, right? If you go, oh, if she does this, I can interrupt with these options, meaning she's gonna default to this option to beat that. So start doing this preemptively to beat that option, and then take your frames and immediately run this mix. Right? Like you can set up a game plan against Reina, and Reina's one of those characters where it's like, if there's a list on how everyone is overpowered and everyone is unbalanced and everyone's in a weird bad spot, right? If they're like, oh, Dragonall's terrible, or Dragonall needs a nerf, Dragonall needs a buff, I wholeheartedly believe that there's no one on like who's reasonable, who's not like a Reina main, who would say some shit like, "Oh yeah, Reina needs help." No, bro, no, no, no. All right, I feel like Reina is like one of the, it's like Reina Heihachi are two examples of it's okay to have weaknesses. Where like you're fighting against Reina, like Reina is rewarding to play against because of like her gameplay loop. And I know it's like, oh, it feels like she's just mashing into me. That's because you're not stopping her. So once you like learn how to stop her, and then you actually start stopping her, and you start doing it in game, because like there's nothing better than there's not a better feeling than watching Reina players spamming your face, and then going, I don't know what the fuck's going on, and then when you start like you like, oh, it's Reina. I know the matchup. You know what I mean? There was a period when I would lose to Reynas. I had no clue, so I just said, "Fuck, I'm alive." And it took me a couple times. It took me quite a while to remember the moves of like what is what. And I still have a hard time now sometimes where it's just like I don't remember the punish because I rarely see Reynas anymore. Like I feel like that's something you're getting less and less. Where it's like not the punishes because that's just a skill issue. I'm talking about like the feeling of okay, I know what to do here. Right? Like you have to try harder as Reina. Alright. Anyway, next move is Sentai 1+2. Two mids, starts off with a 14 frame. Just immediately into Heaven's Wrath, right? So they can do annoying shit like that. Uh, I forgot the button. How am I forgetting the input? Jesus. There we go. So you can step to her left pretty easily for her stance. Like you can just beat the option. And if she's not super plus, right? If she doesn't have a bunch of plus rounds, you can just step it. But this move seems to track to her right. It is jab interruptible. Right. At 14 frames. Again, if she's plus at all, don't press. But everything else, you kind of... You can disrespect. So I tried to grab her, but it's not going to work. Still power crush. Yeah. The thing is, like, it's gonna be a case where Reina's so balanced that you look at the individual tools and go, oh, what's the point of this? It seems so weak, and it's like, well, yeah, like the kit. It's not like the tools themselves specifically stop me from sidestepping. In fact, I felt incentivized to sidestep more against trainers. Right? I feel like I should be doing it way more. I feel like I should be disrespecting more. And it's like, oh, they're disrespecting more. Like that's just bad. Like you would want to have a stance to be strong, so you could have a game. Because if they can just ignore your stance, you're just gonna be afraid to attack. No, you're gonna be afraid to attack if you're a bad player, right? The point is that if you know that they're gonna press, you have an option to beat them. You can, right? You can just do a simple thing, and I'm not sure if you've ever thought of this. You could just not do this in neutral. You could just not just randomly bust this out without conditioning your opponent to be afraid, right? You can also use your power crush. You don't have to use the full thing. You can go, all right, and then take advantage of the mental frames, right? If I can do it, there you go. You can take advantage of the mental frames. Like you actually legitimately do not have to that like if your opponent's pressing, you don't have to run the stance and mix up, right? You don't have to. You literally don't have to. And that's the thing. The part of getting better at this game is like discovering free will. Like it's amazing if there's anyone who actually thinks that like having stances where the like three moves can cover all the options. So like if you just run with one move over and over, or just swap between two moves, you've covered like pretty much everything. You know what I mean? Like if you have a homing mid that's also a heat engager that wall splats out of stance that you can get into very easily at command from standing into plus frames into something that like is a safe like very safe and also has pushback. It's like at that point, what do you want from me? And by the way, yes, I was describing Jin. If you guessed, yes, I was talking about Jin. Fuck him. Like I feel like there's certain moves where oh no, the move I was talking about wasn't wasn't a mid. Sorry, it was a high. But he has another homing move that's also still safe on block and also a mid. So he could just use either or, just in case you duck. He literally has the ability to make you duck even in situations where you gain no benefit from ducking. Because like, oh, he's using the high one, I'm gonna duck and launch him, and then he throws the mid one and you die. They're both safe. He literally loses nothing by throwing them either. He only gains like mental inventory from his opponent when he uses the high. So like just I'm too low of a level for people to take me seriously. Like if I hit Tekken God Supreme, maybe someone would go, "Oh, I'll listen to what he's saying." But in my full opinion, I think Reina's being so bare bones with her tools, or each thing probably having a very specific reason to exist, is so very good for someone like me, because technically this answer to this to this stance is like jab, sidestep left, like quick down for when to interrupt her whenever she's trying to transition, and then she has to like play poke games around like mental games, timing, right, spacing traps, like plus on block moves into spacing traps to get plus frames. Then punishment is going to be like her best tool, right? Punishment is going to be like one of her best qualities, because since it's about punishment now, right? She's going to be using that a lot. She's going to be. I don't play this character at all, so I couldn't tell you. And every Reina I see online is like a scammer. But like, you use your punishment as a tool of getting those plus frames into the mix. And keep in mind, you could be like, oh, all her stance options aren't that strong. Even if that's true, right? Let's say, because I don't know, I don't play the character. I'm not a high level, and I'm really bad at labbing. But let's say her stance options are bad when it comes to something like damage output or making you do things. They're fast as fuck. So you cannot interrupt any of her stances if she's plus. Meaning if she does this, you can't interrupt her next moves because she does this, and then this, right? And just stance at plus 23 because now she's at the wall when she did it to you. And plus 23 means guaranteed actually. And that's another thing. If she has a punish that instantly goes into stance, then her punishment at the wall, once she carries you to the wall and you press or you get hit by a hit confirmable jab string into death, I mean into wall splat, into confirmable option like with like heat engager, whatever we have, right? Especially if she's already in heat. I'm trying to think of what I need to do to show this. Oh yeah, I need to be on like block wall. All right, that's 26. She's plus 23 off of it, so that doesn't work. So you don't get a heat engager. The game doesn't allow you, right? You don't get the mid. Maybe get the power crush. No, you don't get anything. You don't get. It's fake. It's fake plus. Yeah, it's fake plus. I don't know why. Yeah, it's fake. I don't understand. Why give her plus 23? See, like the thing is, if it was actually plus 23 and she hit it at the wall, like you just exploded, then that'd be one thing. But it's not even that. Like the fastest move doesn't even reach for some reason. Like I mean, not reach. It doesn't. It doesn't like. Yeah, it doesn't reach in time. I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to do in that time frame, or if you can do anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. Nothing that can be said about it. We have Sentai 3.4, which is this, right? And it's plus 4, and it's crucially important, right? Crucially important that you understand that Reina has 442, right? Into stance. She has forward 4, which is plus 2, right? I think she can. No, I thought she had like a because if you play against Hachi and if Hachi does this, he can go into like Thunder God or not Thunder God, One God, right? One of those stances. No, One God. He can go to One God if he holds down, and I thought it was the same thing for Reina. Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's the manual input. All right. Anyway, this move here being plus 4. Also low and forward advancing. I mean, you can do that all the time. It's so annoying. It's so annoying to be hit by that, which means you can do this. Right? You can be back here, hit him with a low, but it's low high. So what that means. Alright. And homing, right? And plus 4. There's not really any counter hit property. You can't really back away from it. You can counter it with the hop kick, right? Just to one counter, right? And it also doesn't do a lot of damage either. So what I want to see is it guaranteed? The tough counter hits. It might be guaranteed. It might be if you get hit with the low, you get hit with the high. And if that's the case, I think that's good because the stance, like there's no lows for Reina, like in the stance. So there's no real reason to duck unless she's doing those options over and over again. And then all her like mid options has holes, so she has to cover it with like her homing moves, like Sentai 3+4, like Sentai 3. You know what I mean? Like she has to cover those holes to be able to like properly construct her offense. Oh yeah, that's stance. I think I'm gonna call it quits here because I'm really tired. But for the main part of it is like grab and power crush beat most of the options except the low, uh, because it's a low. And then you can't really sidestep. Like that's the thing. Like her catch-all move that beats all the other options. That you have to make a call for that loses that call out that loses to everything else. Right? Like you're playing rock paper scissors and you have to dive. I mean, you have to commit really hard to paper when like she has so many rocks. Uh, you have to keep that in mind. That if it is that scenario, having that move be a weak low that you kind of can't ignore, that leaves her +4 in block, is a good thing, right? You wouldn't want to give someone who has like rush down, stance rush down, good lows, because then you're forcing people to start like blocking lows because the character's playing the game, not like I hit him with so many lows. And I know this sounds very similar. I know it sounds like the same thing, but it's not. If your character is like Clive or some shit, right? If your character is like Raven, you're incentivized by your character's moveset to go do lows, right? That's if you're Yoshimitsu, you're incentivized to go do lows. They want you down there, right? But if it's stance rush down, like if it's Lydia, I don't like the fact that Lydia has knockdown lows. I personally think like knockdown lows for a character who like actually legitimately stops you from sidestepping, like all her moves realign. I think it's such bad game design to have her lows knock you down. But then again, they're like, I'm not gonna hold you. I think like everything Lydia does is reactable. I just don't play Lydia's ever, and I refuse to buy the character. So like it's I put myself in a situation where I keep losing to a character that I feel like if you labbed and understood what you were labbing for like 3 hours, you'd have the character on lock. And I don't mean like, oh, you'd be able to fight back. I mean like you'd have it on lock if you just did it for 3 hours. Just 3 hours, including going through the stances, because I know there's a lot, right? Focusing on the animation, and then literally like putting up the bots for 3, 5, 10 minutes, 20, whatever, however long it takes for you to visually recognize the stances, the stance differences, right? And that's to be like low level Lydias, obviously. Like you just look at the moves, go, okay, this is their low option from stance. This is a side you like. This is a side you like. You can't really step with it, I don't think, right? This is like when you jab, or this is when you power crush, or this is what you do when she starts doing this to beat it, like that sort of thing. I think that in particular is kind of aids if they have a low that just makes you have to address it. Yeah, that like if someone is doing hatchet kick over and over because you refuse to duck, that's putting them in a worse spot because they're doing a specific call, like they're doing a specific call out on your defense that leaves them open to a very simple counterplay. Uh, yeah, jab, grab, and power crush. GG's. I'll see y'all later. Wait a minute, was there a move that left her? Yeah, that one. I think one last thing before I go, before I quit, I have to test something on Yoshi. Fuck that shit, bro. No, I'll just swap to Yoshi because that'd be so much simpler than having to deal with that bullshit.
Get ready for the next battle.
Well, live another day. They live another day. Good night.